Put me on the Celestine prophecy. Nothing here is stopping me. Consciously or bodily, low energy don't bother me. Love is my priority, so my vibrations 444 sonically. My brain working out, meditation, my cardio. They hid it from us in the books. You provided the audio.
Another episode of Black Fly on the Wall. I am Lyde. I am your host. We are here today with a dope interview with some amazing people. They hate how I use the word amazing, man.
Thank you for saying it.
That's how I describe the people.
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing people.
I mean,
here.
if you're amazing, I mean, what else can you say?
Yeah, exactly. And we also here in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City.
It's okay.
Grindhouse Studios. Yeah. Just kidding. We can't stop the riots at the front door. All right, so the Queen City, you know. I got some amazing people with me. Jaskiel, introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Jaskiel Creasy. I am the creative director and the director of talent acquisition here at Black Fly on the Wall. I am from the best city, North Carolina.
Oh gosh, here we go. Next up, we got somebody special. Here today. One of our amazing friends. Ohavia, introduce yourself.
Yes. What's up, beautiful people? I am Ohavia Phillips, hailing all the way from Brooklyn, New York, proud Jamaican, Costa Rican Black woman there. But also very happy to be here. So I want to say to the both of you, thank you so much for how you show up in spaces and allow safe spaces for creatives and people in their industry. I believe in giving full gratitude and flowers. So I want to say thank y'all. I'm humbled. I'm happy to be here. And since I told you I was on the countdown for this.
I'm excited. So thank you.
I've been waiting to meet
countdown
on the phone.
In person.
Yes.
In person. We've had us three. We have such amazing conversations.
Yes.
Just on Google Meet.
The little meetings we had be episodes for real.
Look, don't put little in front of it. Because it's giving Emmy Award winning.
In front of conversations I got going on.
Look, because the conversations were amazing, bro. So thank y'all for your excellence.
Absolutely.
Happy to be here.
Absolutely. We thought this episode here is for mental wealthness, and we thought you would be a perfect person for Mental Wealthness, as it is a show under Black Fly on the Wall that really encourages people to discuss mental health and financial literacy. And what you've done over the last 2 or 3 years, and how you progressed in your grind and your perseverance and your unwillingness to quit is what we thought you would be right on brand for what we needed.
Thank you.
With Black Fly on the Wall. So kudos to you for that. Today's episode is entitled Overcoming Fear, Basking in Success. All right?
Yeah.
Overcoming fear, basking in success. And the beautiful thing about overcoming fear is all about being able to show yourself and prove to yourself.
Yes.
Not prove to your family, not prove to your friends, not prove to anyone else but yourself that you got what it takes to be your true self.
I ain't know we starting with a sermon.
No, facts. No,
I know we starting with a
because
sermon.
success is personal, right? And I feel like what we're consistently being sold is you always have to share parts of your success that should be silent. And I think that if it's a win for you, that's how that works. So very grateful to this episode because we about to go in.
Yeah.
You know, it's personal.
Do you feel worthy of the success that you've had over the last few years?
Yeah.
Do you always feel worthy?
You in my business. So get out of my business. So I'm going to be honest. In the beginning, I struggled with recognizing that I deserved. So to provide some context, I come from single parent household. I'm the oldest of 5. And, you know, I was parentified early in watching my brothers while my mom worked. She was a hustler. So like she's an RN of like 30 plus years. And all I knew was holding the house down while my mother worked. So in the beginning, when things started really taking off for me, I felt, what is it called? Survivor's remorse, or that guilt of like, yo, you really got it out the mud and you really doing all these awesome things. So in the beginning it was tough, but now
Now this is meant for me.
Pop-ish.
Listen, God literally is doing what he doing and he don't miss. And not to mention, we work hard. We work hard. So when I tell you, I be kicking my feet up, give him praise, and then I just chill. But in the beginning, it was an interesting journey for sure.
Right. Yeah. No, if you had asked this question, it's funny because in the synopsis we were saying 3 years ago. If you had asked me this question 3 years ago, I would have a totally different answer. But I work so hard. Like I deserve it because I worked for it.
Yes.
Like there's a difference. I deserve it because it wasn't given to me.
Correct.
I deserve it because I sacrificed. I deserve it because I went out and went for it.
Right.
So now when you ask me, like, are you worthy of your success? Absolutely.
It's a different energy whenever you are putting forth like the effort and the know-how to be sustainable in the things that you do.
Yes.
And so I think sustainability is what's key, because we don't want to have overnight success. We don't want to have temporary success.
No.
Yeah.
We want to have success that is long lasting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so with that comes it only comes with your ability to invest in yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to consistently show up for yourself.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the biggest thing, is because like we like to surround ourselves with these expectations and things that we should be doing for the gratification for others. But when was the last time you impressed yourself?
Come on.
Like when was the last time like you really clapped it up like solo, alone?
Yeah.
No social media, no text messages, no group chats.
Yeah.
And really like celebrate yourself like, damn, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Looking in the mirror like, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And that's a point where we all got to be able to progress to,
Yeah.
right? So, Ohavia, just tell the people a little bit about who you are and your journey over the last few years.
Yes, brother. So I'm all things media. Media is my jam. I love it. If I'm not doing media, check on me.
Check on me.
Check on me.
Check on me.
No, for real. So my journey started in television news. So I was a reporter and producer for a local newsroom here in Charlotte. And I think what really did it for me was the death of Keith Lamont Scott. And I went to my news director at the time and I said, listen, there has got to be a community aspect to this story. Like he was a father, he was loved, he was involved in whatever that was, but like he was involved in his community and who he was as a man. And I'll never forget, my news director was like, nah, like that's not what we do here. This is news, right? And so I said, okay. So consistently, I felt like it was an uphill battle to put on for the culture, to put on for the positive aspects of our communities. And so I decided to quit news in 2018 and launch my own media company. Wow. The reason for that was, respectfully, you can't use me as talent, but when I want to tell the stories that's real to my heart, and also seeing how we win as a community, you're not going to tell me when to cover it and when not to.
Yeah.
My culture is not for sale.
Yeah.
So I decided to quit, launch my own business. We went live in 2019 called The O Show LLC, where I started amplifying community stories, positive media, people doing amazing things in our city, because doing news, we're always taught if it bleeds, it leads. And I was like, no, I'm ready for something positive. So I decided to be that. If you complain about it, you're supposed to create it. So I decided to do it. So been in business for real since 2018, but as a business, as an LLC 2019. Now working as an in-arena host for our Charlotte Hornets. Now I get to travel and keynote speak. I'm literally living the dream. I was just telling sis outside, I never work a day in my life. And I think it's the consistent choice of, I'm going to bring my best self, my highest self, my healed self, my elevated self to every collaboration, to every partnership, and I'm not going to fold on my morals. I'm not going to fold on the culture, and I'm going to show up in true fashion, because there are little girls who look like us, and they want to know, is it real? And it absolutely is real. If you want to do media or anything that you want to do in your industry, it's real and it can be done. So I'm just trying to put on for us.
I know.
That's
You know what I'm saying? Keep my clothes on.
Right.
Praise God.
And look, what I love is how you put O in everything.
Okay, sis, I'm gonna put O in everything. Universe, the Omega, amazing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm just very grateful to build a life that I didn't see, to be that for young women in media who don't see themselves. And everything I do is intentional, because that matters, especially in the mountain of influence of media, you know?
And I love that too, because you show yourself, but not only, like you mentioned, the young women, which is vitally important, because our goal and our job is to groom the next generation.
Yes.
To make sure that whenever we kick our feet up and we're ready to sit back and relax, we know that we're passing the baton to a generation that has the readiness.
Absolutely.
And the readiness, not only when it comes down to working hard and persistence, but the spiritual warfare, the confidence, the self-esteem, the mental health, the emotional intelligence, speaking with eye contact.
Right.
You know, like the tools that really, really make you a person that has the readiness to progress.
Yes.
And I think that's what we aim to do here under Black Fly on the Wall, is to continue just to provide that safe space and that content that will allow people in the culture to see, like you said, like positive media.
Yeah.
Like, like we don't have to get on the show and talk about a certain type of content and gossip. Like, we can really have amazing content by pushing positivity.
Right. And literally, it really is that simple. We don't got to fight our brothers and sisters.
That's so true. We don't have to talk over each other.
Yes.
We can agree to disagree. Like, we can literally have three.
Right.
Yeah, we can have three separate, really passionate opinions about something that could be opposite, but we can still talk and respect each other. And whereas I'm not going to change your mind, you might not change my mind, but I can take something from you and like apply it to what I already have and what I already know. That doesn't do anything but grow me. If I grow, and we are looking back on our people, we looking back and trying to raise the next generation, then they do nothing but grow. So why wouldn't I listen to you, even if you don't have the same opinion as me?
You see?
Absolutely.
And it goes back to, as well, media. And we use it in such a broad scale where people are only used to seeing media in negativity. So, gossiping and violence and all those. But somebody has to like step up and say, this is weird.
Yeah.
Why are we fighting each other?
Yeah.
Why are we throwing drinks on each other?
Okay.
Why are we creating narratives that don't need to exist, right? And so I think that whenever you're called to an industry where, if it bleeds, it leads, or simply put, if there's drama, it does well, somebody got to be different.
Right,
Absolutely.
right.
And I love that you brought up different perspectives as well.
Right. And can we push this, like, can we show a different way? Like, let's see if it really does work this way. Like, it's always been, if it bleeds, it leads. But like, we have a show, this Black Fly on the Wall, like this has taken off. And one of the biggest things people say, I'm glad that y'all aren't yelling at each other. I'm glad that y'all are having these conversations because like, other shows or whatever, y'all having the same conversations. Like, how many drinks do we need to be shown? Flying across behind the clouds. We were just talking about this. Flying across the room, like every show, it don't matter if it's on this network or that work. Like, it's the same thing. And so, we can show you that there's something else. And then it feeds other people. Right. And so there might be people who enjoy this lane, and that's fine. But then we are leaving out a big sector of people. Yes. And we only lead with, if it bleeds, it leads. And, I go to the gym every morning at 5:00, and I'm like, I am so tired of seeing this person got killed, this person got shot,
Yes, and you see it's all the headlines.
It's all the headlines. I'm like, is that really all that happens in the world? No. Like, it is insane.
No, it's, the mainstream, I would say, like, I'm not going to call it media. I believe that there's a spiritual warfare in consciousness.
Yeah, that's true.
To where consciousness, like, if you, like, we just had this conversation in Atlanta over the weekend. It's like, we now understand as humans that you sow seeds and they grow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your subconscious is the field.
Yes.
That you consistently are providing your subconscious with a certain type of music, a certain type of movie, a certain type of thing you see on social media.
Yep.
And you're consistently planting those seeds in your subconscious, which is the field.
Correct.
And those things are growing.
Correct.
Yes.
And what's something that grows really wild? Those are weeds.
Yeah.
Right.
Versus it takes a lot to till good soil of greens and lettuce and kale and corn and other things like that. But weeds grow sporadically.
Yes.
All of it will grow.
Yeah.
But it's all about what kind of seeds are you planting.
Right.
So it's essential for us to not always take the easy way out, which is negativity.
Right.
And really work hard to focus on what are the positive seeds that we can plant.
Yes.
So that we can spark a consciousness in people that would make them rise and ascend to a higher level of consciousness.
Even yourself, like how you speak to yourself. Those seeds that you plant are big. And so, like, just being intentional about always telling myself, like, in this creative space where, like we were just talking about, it's so infinite, right? And that's what I love about this space. Like, with your job, we were just saying, like, there's a ceiling and you can see the ceiling, but in this space, so it's like, I can be here. I'm worthy. There's space for me and things like that, because those seeds are important. where how you talk to yourself, that starts everything else. Because then now, if you're talking to yourself negative, then it's easy to turn on something negative on TV. It's easy to, go into those,
you're on the frequency.
to these people that are talking about people and, not progressing and not, talking about growth or talking about how they can do better, but they just want to sit there and talk about people. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, exactly. That's exactly where it starts, is like how you plant those seeds inside yourself. That's where you're going to gravitate towards.
Yes.
What are some things that you do to manage what you take in?
Okay, so I don't own a television.
Wow.
And actually, y'all getting an exclusive. I don't think I've ever said that.
Wow.
But I don't own a television. Let me tell you, I believe in creating the media, not consuming it. Number one. And I feel like there are so many distractions on a daily basis, even when you're driving down the road. Those digital billboards, you're remembering what you saw. You don't remember it, but you remember what you
You're
saw.
Subconscious.
Right? I'm saying we're going to talk, right? And so I don't own a television for that very reason. I believe in creating, not consuming. Number two, I post on social media, but I post and I go. Ain't no such thing as I'm a post and I'm like, all right, what so-and-so got going on or what's happening? Listen, I feel like if you are called to whatever it is that you do, whatever you put out, if it's in your truest and highest self, ain't no reason to scroll. We too busy scaling. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be honest. I post and I go and I mind my business, which tees up to what we were just talking about. I mind my business. My black owned, amazing, thriving business.
Amazing.
And amazing, period, sis. But it's so funny. We were joking about this outside. I feel like I'm always asked, what's the secret to thriving in business? Or how do you unplug? Or like even the question you asked me, brother, and I'm going to be honest, it really comes to minding my business. What is thriving around me? Who are the people that can help me push that agenda, that positivity, that impact? If we make income, cool. If we don't, we still solid because we didn't fold on our morals. Who are these people? What is that thing? And what is the why? If everybody around me is in alignment, if we're all on one band, one sound, if we got that unity and we ain't breaking the line.
Right.
There we go.
So I'm going to be honest. It comes down to minding your business. And I feel like social media naturally keeps us in people's business.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
And here's the thing. I love the app for one reason and one reason only. I love that we can showcase our talents. I love that it brings amazing people together from around the globe. But at the end of the day, familia, let us remember, like, if you're not using it as a tool and it's a distraction, call that out for yourself. But I post and go and I'll be minding my business.
No, I like that because of what you're doing is you're remaining mindful in what you have going on.
You have to.
And you're limiting your distractions, which is key, because if you look back over let's say you look back at your year in 2022 and you didn't achieve something that you wanted to achieve, you got to assess your environment.
Yes.
And say, what could I have done to alter my environment so that it has a direct positive effect on my business.
Correct.
And who I am as an individual.
Yes.
And my brand and my emotional health.
Yes.
And my spiritual health and my mental health. Is that you have to check off these things, and a lot of times it's a hard thing to detach from.
It is.
Media is a hard thing to detach from.
Of course. They build it that way.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. That was purposeful.
Yeah. And so I think all in all, I like that. Not having a TV, that's a big sacrifice, because you are really dedicating your spare time to who you are.
Literally. And the craft and what we're called to. And, when it becomes your life, it changes your life. Right? So even this aspect, whether it's no music or no TV, like, because I know everybody lives different, like, disciplined lives. But whatever is the thing that you are depriving.
And what you do, it doesn't have necessarily have to be what somebody else represents.
Absolutely. It's not one size fits all. Right. Television was just my thing, because working in it, I said, I peep game. So let me make sure that I set it up where I can be successful and also in my right mind. But maybe for, somebody watching, maybe you don't listen to music for the hour in the morning. Maybe you work out 4 or 5 a.m., whatever it is. You got to keep around you what is going to push you. And whatever you sow is what you will reap. Absolutely. And so that's just one of the things that I said, no TV. We'll see what comes of it. And I'm not going to lie, it helps my mental health. It keeps me focused. And that's what
I like that, because you work in media, so you detach yourself from media because you see the back end of it.
Correct.
Versus like with me and like my boy Richard, he's in the room. And so he probably can relate to this, is like when I started doing merchandise, it affected how much money I spent on clothes.
Yes.
Because you see that the value really isn't in the brand.
Facts.
The value is in how they show and showcase it to you. So it's not in the fabric. So the $350 t-shirt at Louis or the $1,200 shades at Prada, it's not that the fact that they took them, it cost them $500 or $700 to make, and they're making a $500 profit.
Right.
It's the fact that they're branding it in a certain type of way, but it doesn't really give it any value unless us as a mass population give it that value.
Yeah,
correct.
That's very
so
true.
like
Very true.
being embedded and like going through the whole process from the vertically integrated process of like really understanding merchandise.
Yes.
It really puts you in the perspective like, yo, like last year, did I really spend X amount of dollars on a jacket? And I just made my same jacket that's of a higher quality for a third of the cost.
Correct. Correct.
So it's like once you get invested and embedded in something and that becomes your DNA, you no longer subscribe to the foolishness.
You can't. But you also brought up something.
Your mind almost it's like your mind is almost pulling you this way while you're trying to tap into it. And it's like you feel this conflict internally.
Right. No, we feel it. And you brought up a good point too, bro. Like, and this is something we were discussing outside is 9 times out of 10, if you aren't engaging with a product or a service or whatever that thing is, it's attached to a person. You see your favorite celebrity wearing it, or you see your favorite person. That's what I'll say. Persons of influence.
Yeah.
Imagine cutting down your TV time, having a more regimented life. You now become that person.
You don't know what that person is
You
doing.
become that person of influence, right? And so that opens up your mind to different experiences, but also, what was I taking in before? What was taking up this space? So that's why I just decided to live a no TV life.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had all of this major success over the last few years. What would you say was your biggest failure?
Biggest failure. I've never been asked biggest failure. I think my biggest failure was not knowing my worth up front.
Okay.
Particularly in
defining your value.
Finding my value. You know what? I'm going to say it like that.
Defining your value.
Defining my value.
Yeah.
Because I thought media is such a non-tangible industry. Like, you holding a mic or you speaking, that can't really be quantified, but you can in energy, right?
Yeah.
So how you made someone feel or how you inspired them to do yada yada.
Right.
But in the beginning, I would say my biggest failure was, wait a minute, Ohavia, you're here. You sowed this time.
Yeah.
Let that breathe. Let that be what it is. Also, charge some people.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. And what gets me is, it's like whether you're in an industry that's non-tangible or you can't quantify it, at the end of the day, whatever you gave that in your schooling, in your service, in your experience, building it from the ground up, that has value. And I feel like early on, it was given very much, no, I'm just happy to be here. Like, thank y'all so much for the opportunity.
I can relate to that. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying
The humble tip. And
yes,
pay me.
I'm very happy to be here. But aside from capital, even if it's not money, how are we nourishing this relationship? What is the bigger goal?
Yes.
And so early on when I was a little baby in the game, what I should have did was nourish more relationships, recognize that there is more than one aspect of capital, and also really step into it unapologetically.
I'm a proponent of the reason why we've been able to do some of the interviews that we've done is based on relationships. So I value relationships more than I value money.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because relationships can get you in rooms
Yes.
that money can't buy you a ticket to.
Absolutely.
And the money is gonna come. If you build that relationship, like you were saying earlier, like the collaboration.
Listen, I love it.
It's inevitable.
I love it.
It's inevitable.
Because if you fix your mind to see that failure isn't in the equation for you, like that you have the definite belief that it's impossible that this doesn't work.
Correct.
That this does not. It's not going to work.
Right.
It's always going to work.
It's always going to work.
It's always going to work.
Because you're so dedicated to the craft.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you locked in. Like if this is your true purpose and like it's gonna work. And it might not look the way that you thought it was gonna look.
Come on.
See, that's the biggest thing.
Girl,
you expect it to look you expect it to look a certain type of way, and that's when people give up.
Yes.
And it's like, no, that's probably where your breaking point was.
Absolutely.
And you have to be more fluid. Like that's what like our jobs teach us to be so rigid.
No.
You gotta go to lunch at this time. You got this 15-minute break at this time. It's like, no, like that's not this creative space, which is, like I said, why I love it so much.
Yeah.
Because like if you locked in, if you know this is your true purpose, then like that you know what the end goal is.
Correct.
It's how you get there. That's where people fail.
Absolutely. And you know why? That's what I love about what you're saying, and also defining value, right? Because our society is very limited in scope on what value is, and we automatically go to money.
Yeah, exactly.
But in the beginning, a win for me would have been, how can we nourish this relationship and partnership down the line? I know what I'm building. How can we make this make sense, right? And so I feel like it's absolutely okay for you to put a dollar amount, cool. But let us not also forsake building relationships, spending the time to nourish those things. And I know we live in a very digital media marketing society where it's like, well, if you know somebody, you DM them and that's how it works. But nah, email somebody. Take the time to get to know them. Not for when you need their service, not for when you want their influence. There's a person behind that. There's a heartbeat behind that mission. And I feel like that's value.
As simple as picking somebody's brain. Like, I see you doing this thing. You know, I don't need you right now, but like I see, like, how did you get here? What, and being so open and honest to give me to not gatekeep, to give me the to give me the sauce, to give me the recipe, right? Because it doesn't matter if you can tell me word for word, step by step, day by day, everything you did, and it's still not going to come out the same exact way.
One size fits all,
so what's the point? What's the point of not sharing that information with me? What's the point of not helping to build me, especially when we look alike, especially when we look like we look? Like, come on. Because like we said at the beginning, it's about...
I'm triggered. Because you talking the way I like. You talking the way I like.
Look, this is what we always been doing. Like, we say a good point, and then we just break out like, oh, girl.
No, because when I tell you it's facts, right?
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, sis. I was just edifying.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, just the what I'm trying to say is, you know, why can't we help each other, especially in this space? Like I said, like I've been saying, like I guess my theme is like, you know, this creative space with so infinite amount of possibilities. Like, why can't we build in this space? Because in our workspace,
there's enough room for everybody.
Where it is. And I really truly believe in our workspace is not. It's not room for everybody. Somebody got to be at the top and somebody got to be at the bottom. And so then we try to take that aspect into this space, and it doesn't work that way. There's literally room for everybody.
Like it's just like looking at a blueprint of a house. Like, you can't take the blueprint of the house you had before and lay it over the top of your new house and expect for it to match up.
Right.
So it's like we have to detach ourselves for those who work in a career where we have a 9-to-5. We have to detach ourselves away from that ideology.
Yes.
That's what it is.
It is an ideology.
It's ideology
exactly.
of a certain hierarchy of structure that pushes us to focus and work within a certain boundary.
Absolutely.
Versus whenever you come into this now creative space, you're now a creative looking to create, but you're still operating with the same ideology from corporate America or your 9-to-5, and you have to detach yourself from that.
And it can stifle your creativity, bringing that ideology over here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because instead of, like, I think I said it the other day, and like, instead of compete, create.
Create, collaborate.
So here's the thing, y'all. You talking that talking, I'm about to flip everything in this room. I do not understand how people do not believe in collaboration.
I don't either. I
don't understand how you would create a negative argument from collaboration. Everything, whether it's in media, any mountain of influence, whatever industry, one thing stands true. When you collaborate with someone, that thing goes to a different level.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I just want us, and I have hope, y'all. I got that real Little Miss Sunshine optimism. Sometimes people be like, Ohavia, it's too much. But I really believe that as a generation, we can become what we're looking for. Or what's lacking. Collaborating with people for what they really bring and who they are, not trying to like have them be something they're not for the sake of our brands. Let people come as they are. And this is why I love what you all are doing, and why I particularly and specifically said providing a safe space for creatives to be and exist and share their experiences. I'm not coming in here and y'all didn't give me like a pre-interview. You literally was like, sis, we just want you to share your testimony. There's power in allowing safe spaces for collaboration, but more particularly loving people for where they are and what they're already doing, and not because it is or is not in the package that you want. Let people be.
Let people be.
Let people be.
And I think too is
I'm fired up.
we have to take ourselves out of the cookie cutter mentality.
All right, you know what?
This ain't
Y'all got insurance on this equipment.
This ain't an off the shelf. This ain't an off the shelf.
Right.
This ain't an off the shelf gift. You know what I mean? Like, this is custom. And with custom, you have to be open to the possibilities that this is going to fit, feel, and look differently than anything else that I've seen. Versus off the shelf is going to be very, very similar to what you see on a daily basis with everybody else. And we custom over here.
Come on, we what?
We custom. You know what I mean?
And definitely meet you where you're at. And I feel like that's how we've gotten into this space where like like I said, us three, we just been like really vibing because it's not like, you know,
there's no ego.
It's no ego. I'm not bringing you here for this purpose.
Yes.
I'm bringing you here to see what you can give to the people, because it's the most important thing is what we're giving to the people. Yeah. Like we have all these things, we got all these things going on, but if nobody is benefiting from it, then it really was no point.
It's service based.
Yes, it is.
Because our goal is shifting the culture.
Right.
You know, like our goal isn't to get a certain amount of views, brand deals, and that stuff is gonna come. It's gonna come. It's easy because
stay true.
Because we focus on the law of least resistance, meaning that everything that's meant for us flows to us easily. And we really don't swim upstream or try to fight the currents. It's all about allowing authentic relationships and collaborations to really be what they are.
712 Vodka, distilled only once from Blue Ridge Mountain Water. Alkaline and gluten-free, 712 Vodka is perfect for sipping or mixing. When you want to enjoy the finer things in life, serve up 712 Vodka and reflect with us on the happenings that have made you who you are.
Now, I want to also propose this to you is like, you achieve all of these things. You went through the journey of experiencing failure, survivor's remorse. So now you're on this high. How do you, even within success, you can get overwhelmed with success.
Yes, you can.
Because it's not success in the high. In the high life is not really your true grounded self. So how do you practice self-care?
So being blessed to work in media, but also have amazing partnerships with sometimes I'm thrown by just the people who see me and they're like, let's collaborate. Self-care for me is literally unplugging from it all. Okay. Self-care is recognizing that, wait a minute, and reminding myself. So I'm going to put it in this frame. The reason why I unplug is because it's a consistent reminder that people are not buying into the character. This is really who Ohavia is. When I do not batch create. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I come on live on Instagram particularly all the time. Sometimes I don't have an idea about what I'm going to speak about, right? Nice. But because I show up like that consistently, organically, sometimes with no plan. For me, a win is I'm just going to unplug from it all because it's reminding myself of, yes, I'm grateful these brands see me. Yes, I'm grateful the networks see me. Yes, I'm grateful to even be in the NBA and being compensated to be myself. But what I love is all those things have one thing in common. They're not asking for a representative of, they're asking for Ohavia. So how I got a self-care is, okay, we did the thing. Y'all ain't gonna see me for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup.
No, you can't.
Like, you have to be your greatest self. Like, that's something you have to do. You have to recharge.
You do, and like ways that I recharge is literally like, so I just did one going into the new year. I do it every November, December. I put my phone down. I delete all social media. Like the apps off the phone, the widgets off my phone. I don't take any business. Nice. I really just shut everything down for from November through January. And for the first time this year, I went through the second week in January and I was like, they're going to think something happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you show up every day bringing the joy. This is going on. Right. But I knew, hey, you ain't dancing about 3 weeks. Mind your business. But no, literally. So I had to recognize if I want to consistently pour from a pure space, I got to put me first. And so self-care for me is unplugging. It's spending time with my family, my friends, and my loved ones. It's building things under the radar that I'm not interested in talking about. You know, that's actually my favorite thing nowadays is building something big and not saying nothing and pulling a Beyonce and they like, well, when was you working on this?
Right.
Whenever you ain't see me.
You didn't see me. Right. Because again, in a showy society with social media, everything is, we want behind the scenes and we want the day in the life with me vlogs. We want the get ready with me's. Yeah. But there's some things that no. So self-care for me is also keeping some things private. Like there was so many major wins, y'all, even in this week alone that we could whole live talk about. But I'm in a season where it's like, nah, that's for Ohavia. That's for inner Ohavia. That's for the block in Brooklyn. That's for the family in Jamaica. That's for Guanacaste, Costa Rica. You know what I'm saying? So you keep it, you hold it, and there's a safety, but also there's a special care in that. And knowing that you deserve this so much, it came to you. Keep it, lock it in a vault, and be inspired and replicate the same moves.
Right. How valuable is intention to you when doing a collaboration?
intention and collaboration is everything. It's in my business plan. It literally is in my business plan to collaborate with like-minded creatives and people who can shift my perspective on what I believe. See, that's another thing, right? I'm about to throw everything in this excitement. But no, seriously, so collaboration and intention go hand in hand. If you want to collaborate with someone who is your favorite, whatever the industry is, you got to recognize, wait a minute, I just don't want to pull nobody in because they got a name.
Yeah.
I'm not pulling nobody in just because they're what's hot right now. Sometimes I will pull in an OG in the industry and people be shook. Like, how did you get that person? Because I'm not going for I'm not going for trends.
Absolutely.
I'm going for traction.
Exactly.
I'm going for people who can drop gems.
Yeah.
Put you on, give you longevity. I'm looking for people who are doing it for the right reasons and have the heart. Here's why we got to be intentional about our collaborations. In a world where 30-second things are going viral, we only know the chorus and the hook of a song because of something going viral. We don't even listen to the full songs or albums anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very rarely, right?
Yeah,
wow.
I feel like it's the same way with collaboration. I don't want the hook.
Ooh.
Respectfully, I'm not going for the trend. I'm not going for the hook. I'm not going for the chorus. I want this person's story.
Yeah.
I want how they show up.
Absolutely.
And I want somebody who is unapologetically and unafraid to share the gems and the steps that they went to do what they did. What happens is when you follow the trends, you're not getting people who want to share those things.
Yeah.
There's people who like, nah, I'm gonna just give you superficial.
Yeah,
We've done
superficial.
enough of that.
And then sell it to you for 3 times the price.
There
And
you go.
it's like, yeah, I could have just looked that up.
Yep.
You see me pushing my head to the back of my
Yeah.
ears. You see what I'm
Because I
saying?
can't stand that. I can't stand the master
No.
classes. Like, it's one thing to really be teaching people. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with being compensated, but for you to give that very surface stuff
We're not doing that.
and sell it to
That's low vibe.
Right.
That's low vibe.
And
That's low vibe.
No, but sis, it is low vibe. And let me
Yeah.
tell you why it's low vibe. You're gonna go through everything you went through. You know you have people in this space who are interested in knowing how you did it, but you only gonna give us the top 5 when you know there's top 15.
Right. And then top 1, A, B, C.
And then
it's
there's
like
some
there's
subs.
Yeah, like for
Subs in
real.
there. Sub A, sub B, sub C.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, pulling it back around to collaboration. I want to collaborate with people who don't mind sharing because they're not losing nothing. I want to collaborate with people who keep an open hand policy. If you come, I'm going to pull you up. I'm going to pull you beside and I'm going to teach you.
I like it.
Because I became, not because I can only become and that's it. There's only one slot. I want you to become 2.
Right.
And let me shave off 10 years of doing the wrong thing. Let me shave off 5 years.
Girl.
And come with us.
Girl.
Because we're better together.
Well, you
but
know-
see, I know I'm
Right.
different.
You know, also too,
Not here. You just
there is, you know, you want to make sure that you always keep a high vibration of karma too,
Oh,
because you think you may have elevated to a level of above where you were,
talk.
but there's levels above you. So how is it going to be whenever you want to reach out to a Oprah,
Right.
to a Rihanna,
Right.
to somebody who's a level ahead of you,
Yes.
and then you then are going to experience what
Yes.
you gave to
Yes.
those who you
Yep.
classify as below you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So a lot of times, like, we get caught up in this quick success,
Correct.
and we surround ourselves with individuals who don't keep us humble,
No.
and it gives us a false pretense of who
Yep.
we really are.
It's true.
And how much success we really have had.
It's true.
And success is a drug.
It is. Bro, it is. And let me
drug.
tell you, yes men, and matter of fact, I'm going to just put it in plural. Yes people
Yeah.
are also a drug.
Yes.
There was a season in my life where literally I could do no wrong. And I was like,
And there's something wrong with
Something
that.
ain't
If we
right.
can't do no
Yeah,
wrong.
like,
There's something
something
wrong.
ain't right.
nobody holding me accountable to
Yeah.
nothing. Like, you not telling me, like, every idea is a great idea, right? So there was a season where I had wrong people, right time. Now being in this season, if we're talking about elevation of success and being comfortable, a major part of success is also losing. But you're losing the right people, right? You're not losing wrong, you're losing the right people. I always had a problem with yes people.
Yes.
Which is also a drug. I
keep saying
which
yes,
is with
but, like, not that
success.
yes.
Right. I could never do no wrong. Call my mama. Something
Yeah.
right. Call my mama them. She gonna tell me.
Oh, yeah,
You know
facts.
who gonna tell you?
I was waiting.
But do you know
get
who
mama
gonna tell
involved.
you? Your mama is going to tell
Shout out to
you.
My mama got me humble. We went to breakfast this morning before I came here.
Yeah.
She got me humble real
Your
quick.
mom get me humble.
Chin chin.
She get everybody humble. If anybody
chin
been
check.
around her, she a trip, man. She
But I'm
a
just
trip.
saying, yes, people and success, and just be sure to not, because you're gonna elevate. Elevation is imminent, right? That's something that happens when you put your hard work and your positive intention to something. But don't get high on your own supply. Never let the game change you, make you fold, make you fold on what you've come from. But also, don't get high on that when you're doing good and when you're doing bad. Because this game changed very frequently. Tables
All the
turn
time.
very quickly.
Yes.
You
Don't
gotta
get
have
high on
mental
that
fortitude.
regardless.
You gotta have a mental
You do,
fortitude.
sis. Even when they like, yo, you killing it. I literally normalized, I'm just living a dream.
Yeah,
bro. I'm just trying to be
even kill. Because you got to have that same mentality when you're failing and everybody looking at you and pointing the fingers and leaving.
Because people be leaving.
Which is good because you want to consistently surround yourself with those who champion and celebrate you.
Yes, absolutely, brother.
And those who are genuine enough to keep you grounded during all times.
Absolutely.
And have a sense of normalcy too.
Come on.
So like that makes me transition to my next question about desires.
Yeah.
And what do you've achieved these things. You have your media company rolling. You're a part of an NBA franchise and the NBA, one of the biggest businesses in the world.
Yeah.
What do you desire?
I desire freedom. I desire owning blocks.
Okay.
In both my hometown in New York and also here in Charlotte, because I consider this a hometown. I love this city so much. I desire freedom in teaching the next generation how to do what I did in media, but you don't pay me a tuition. What if I'm so wealthy, I already foot the bill? I just want young people who are sharp, they fired up, they believe in their media and what they're creating. You just pull up to like the Ohavia Phillips. I don't even know what I'm going to call it yet. I'm being fully transparent. But like pull up to like old school of media. You know what I'm saying? My desires are going back to schools that I went to, from middle schools, elementary schools, and having something in there that shows media. So even if it's a media course, a curriculum, or what about, you know what I'm saying, being a scholarship, the Ohavia Phillips Media Scholarship for kids in underserved communities who've always been told they didn't have the look, or you have an accent. These were things that was told to me, and I think my desire is 100% rooted in, when I was coming up, they didn't see me on TV. Now I'm going to foster and nourish that look. And now literally apply for these scholarships if you look like this.
I like it.
If you talk like this, you know, but like it's freedom. It's generational wealth for me. My sister, my 3 brothers, is making sure my mother is straight because she sacrificed so much and never missed a beat. Every bill was paid. All my fits was fitting. Like my mom literally, sometimes at 30 now, I'm like, yo, how did she do that? But all those sacrifices are now being shown. And like the other day, she was like, yo, I was on your Instagram. First of all, that's a different talk. But she was like, I was on your Instagram. And I'm like, yo, that's my daughter. And it just brought tears to my eyes. Yeah, that's
a good feeling.
Yeah. And I'm trying not to cry now. But like, it's like, because that's the one person. That's the one person. Look, I ain't got no lash glue, y'all. But that's the one person in my life where it's like, this is my why. To show her it wasn't for nothing. And she already knows. But every time I pull up, it's to prove a point to Miss Mahalia.
There you go.
Shout out to my mom. But like, it's to pull, you know what I'm saying? So those are my desires, to create freedom where I don't have to rely on systems, where they're asking me, how can we sew into you? I think a big inspiration for me is Pinky Cole. How she does it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, particularly in media, same concept, media. So shout out to Pinky Cole. I love you. Yeah.
So I love Pinky, man. I spend a lot of money with Pinky.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? Slutty vegan, bar vegan, anything vegan.
I got a mug in the crib.
I'm telling you, I bought a new book. You know what I mean? So it's like, shout out to Pinky, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes, like, even with myself, I find myself, like, you know, my fiance was telling me yesterday, like, sometimes, like, I came back from Atlanta last weekend. It was an amazing weekend. And she was just like, you got to slow down. Not slow down my activity, but slow down my thoughts.
Yeah.
And, like, slow down and enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you just got to just sit back, man, and just be like.
Yeah. And bask in what happened.
Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, just look at,
especially when you achieve, you like, this is that adrenaline rush. It's like, okay, now I gotta achieve something else. And then you sit there and you do it, and it's like you get burnt out. But that's why, because you didn't just sit back and just say, wow, I did that.
Success can be a drug. Like, you know, like I recently achieved a goal that over the last 30 days I've been really locked in on.
Nice.
So everybody knows, like, I'm really big into spirituality, but like spiritual work.
Yes.
So like meditation.
Yeah.
Visualization. Yeah. Journaling.
Yeah.
I believe in, like, the universe is encoded with 369, and I think if you can tap into the frequency of 369 and understand those things, the repetition. So I've been really journaling and writing things out 3 times in the morning, 6 times midday, 9 times at night, and visualizing that goal that I had right before I went to bed. Whoa. And then let that goal and that vision of me that I had right before I went to bed germinate my subconscious while I'm asleep, so that I wake up. And then I realized that I would start waking up thinking about the dream that I just had.
Correct.
Or the vision I just had the night before.
Yes.
And I achieved the goal just like that.
Yes.
And I achieved it the same way. And also within the journal that I have, and I show it to you at the end of this episode, is it then makes you write how you see yourself achieving your goal.
It's the truth.
And you have to write out how you see yourself achieving that goal every single day.
Yeah.
Every day that you write these steps down.
Yeah.
And I achieved it the exact same way. So like even after really, really locking in and really all I'm listening to, I'm limiting like rap music, I'm limiting the things that I'm watching, I'm limiting all of those things because this goal was so important to me that I didn't want anything to come on that would limit me from getting it.
Yes.
And I achieved the goal, and then maybe like a day or two later, I had become so obsessed in a healthy way of achieving this goal. And I got to the end, I'm like, dang, what now?
What now, right?
Because I've now like fixed my mind is now fixed to the structure of we need to focus on what your desires and the things that you care about the most. And so now it's shifted me into this space to where now I want to stay on that high vibration.
Yeah.
Like I ain't got time for foolishness.
Yeah.
I've now showed myself proof of concept.
I ain't got time.
You know what I mean? Like
I'm achieving.
I showed myself
this foolishness.
I showed myself proof of concept to the point where it's like, why would I go back to anything else? Pure Soul Restaurant in Durham, North Carolina is one of the best plant-based restaurants in the country. Plant-based everything. Whether you are 100% plant-based or flexing your diet, Pure Soul has amazing options for everyone. With majority of the foods being locally sourced from Pine Knot Farms, a small business with sustainable practices, you taste the North Carolina love and soul through every bite. Family, Pure Soul isn't trying to convince you, they are trying to feed you. Stop by Pure Soul in Durham and tell them Black Fly on the Wall sent you.
Because when you know better,
you do better.
You do better.
When I tell you, and bro, let me tell you, you couldn't have teed it up so perfectly. Going back.
I can't go back.
Somebody the other day asked me what was my why, and I said I'm not going back. And they were shook because it was like, oh, I thought you would say your mom. And I thought you would say your siblings. Nah, it's not going back.
I ain't going back.
To poverty, old perspectives, to ways that I was pretending to not be my full self.
Mentality of lack.
Oh, yeah.
Lord, Jesus. Mentality of lack.
Mentality of
you know
lack.
what I'm saying? Heavily mentality on lack. And all those things that are the complete opposite of abundance and freedom.
They don't match the frequency of what you want.
Absolutely not. So that's what I'm not going back to. But I love that you brought that up because I feel like in order to know where you're going, visualizing, manifesting, all these words that they have us using, let me tell you, there's a disciplined life behind that.
Yes.
Yeah, it was discipline. Like I wouldn't go to sleep without writing in my journal. And
correct.
I wouldn't go to sleep. So that means on a Friday night, a Saturday night, a Sunday night, just went out and had dinner, the weekend, it don't matter.
Yep.
It was because you cannot say that you want something or you desire something without paying the price for it.
Without paying the price, without sacrificing.
You have to pay the price.
You have
and
to.
And the paying the price, I believe that persistence and paying the price is synonymous with faith.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't persist if you didn't believe in it.
Nah,
you wouldn't.
So like how us as creatives, we consistently are looking for ways to scale. We are consistently looking at ways to introduce new merchandise. We are consistently looking at ways to broaden and widen our media platform.
Yes.
But that's persistence.
Yes.
But if we didn't have faith in what we did, we wouldn't persist.
Correct.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Persistence is synonymous with faith. Because
I think so.
I knew it.
I think so.
you had your scarf on, I had mine on the meeting.
Y'all, let me tell you, I had my cute little do-rag on, and I said, I love y'all for showing up authentically. But
My last question for you before we close it out is, how impactful have mentors been in your journey?
Mentors is like, I feel like I am who I am because of my mentors. So shout out to, first of all, the mentor of the decades to come. Her name is Rashonda Pratt.
Okay.
Her trademark is visibility is power. She worked in television, news, media. Nice. First lady, when I tell you this woman has completely changed my life. And this is for the person who's skeptical of mentorship. I get it. You know, being from Brooklyn and all the things. Yeah. It's like, I don't want nobody in my business.
Right,
and sometimes you get a mentor who want to know how you do what you do. Let me tell y'all something right now. Wait until your mentor shows themselves. Literally, Rashonda and I were following each other on Instagram for like a couple years. I never reached out. I felt it, but I didn't know. And I said, you know what? If this is meant for me, It's with least
It's for
resistance.
you.
And it's for me.
It's coming.
Y'all, Rashonda was at an event I was hosting and said, I got to talk to you. Rest was history. This
Yeah.
woman has mentored me through some major business decisions, has helped me through even practical business things like contracts and managers.
I love it.
Rashonda means everything to me. She's literally a part of the family now. To answer your question, mentorship changes the game. You don't know everything. You're not meant to know everything.
It saves you time too.
Also, it saves you time,
heartbreak, and
heartbreak, energy, and money and influence, right? Mess around and get the the wrong person at the right time in your business and in your life. That changes everything. We've seen it with people all the time. So this is for the person. Let me tell you something. Mentorship is so imperative to your business, to your growth, to you scaling, particularly because they catch the blind spots that you don't. If you're so busy doing the thing,
That was real.
if you're busy doing the thing,
Yeah.
you're not paying attention to the blind spots. Okay, I'll put it on me. I wasn't paying attention to the blind spots.
Yeah, you had blinders on.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it would be nothing for Rashonda to be like, here's what I'm seeing. But then I'm going to add another layer. Somebody who could pray and be intentional. I know that prayer and spirituality is in different contexts, so I don't want to limit because I want everybody to pick up what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You need somebody who can be intentional with you in whatever spiritual realm you're disciplined in. Notice I said not just trying out, you're disciplined in it. You need somebody who could pray, hold you accountable to your fast, hold you accountable to the higher self you want to be. And if you don't have that in a mentor, I'm concerned for you. Because somebody got to be able to call you out, lift you up, and bring out the best that you didn't see, because you can be coming in on lack and they have that abundance that you were missing. So mentorship is everything. Best investment of my life. And shout out to Rashonda and everything.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. I love it. So I think this episode was needed because like we oftentimes experience the success,
Facts.
but we don't know how to manage it.
Yeah.
We oftentimes experience the success, but in the same breath experience the fear of the success.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we have to often just learn how to bask in it.
Yeah.
We have to bask in the success. And that basking is synonymous with being mindful.
Correct.
Just enjoying it, just stopping to breathe.
Yes.
Just standing there and just really like, I'm meant to be here.
Yes.
Yes.
This is my new home.
Facts, brother.
I'm you know, this is my crib.
Yep.
Success is my crib.
Yeah.
Look,
I love it
and
here.
it's a condo
And
in
I keep
Uptown.
moving. Yeah. First you got a condo, then you got a mansion. Then you're like,
And you enjoying your
afraid.
there you
Never
go. And,
afraid.
yeah, no fear, and you're enjoying your journey.
And wait, and
Absolutely.
like, I'm not saying don't be afraid, because like fear is natural.
It's a natural.
It's natural.
Y'all,
I'm just saying we gotta push through that fear.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
You know what
why
I'm
it's
saying?
important to overcome it.
Yes.
Gotta overcome.
And so and I think echoing what Jaskel just saying is that experience the fear, and we just had this conversation with Luke, but you don't swim in it.
Nah.
Feel
it's
it.
a cesspool.
Right.
Feel it.
Yeah, no.
Feel it.
Yeah.
Identify
Acknowledge
it.
it.
Acknowledge it.
Move.
Be okay with it
Yeah.
and overcome it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think
Exactly.
that's essential.
Exactly.
That's the equation for not being bogged down
No.
during times when you really need to be focused
come
on the
too
high
far.
vibration
Yes.
of things that you need.
Yes.
So
you've come too
Yeah, that was
far.
beautiful.
so this is overcoming fear, basking in success with the wonderful, amazing,
Yes.
amazing.
I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, he gonna start saying
amazing. Ohavia Phillips.
No.
Thank you.
Family,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so much
much
for what you do. I'm really
Thank you.
appreciative.
Yeah.
Like this
Much-
filled my cup.
It
Much
did.
love,
love
much
y'all.
love,
I love
man.
y'all.
I'm on a high now.
No,
Yeah,
It's
I
time. Let's
couldn't
go
wait.
time.
I ain't
couldn't
gonna lie, I'm on
wait.
1,000, but
Let's
that's always.
go.
Yes.
Much love, man.
Love you, family.
All right.
I love you, girl.
Put me on the Celestine prophecy. Nothing here is stopping me. Consciously or bodily, low energy don't bother me. Love is my priority, so my vibrations 444 sonically. My brain working out, meditation, my cardio. They hid it from us in the books. You provided the audio.